Okay, so say hiya.
Ah,
Hey.
What's up, everybody? Today's episode, it's gonna be very interesting. All I can say is it is almost 7 hours apart. You'll find out why in just a bit. All right, my guest today appears in everybody's WhatsApp groups. All right, he also appears on everybody's Facebook timeline. He also appears in every single conversation across all mass races, my aunties, my uncles, even my mother. When your mom comes to you and starts telling you things, it just gives you some sort of like an idea of the sheer magnitude of one thing that's taking over the world. Ladies and gentlemen, we have on the show today Mr. Nigel Ng. You may know this guy as Uncle Roger. What's up?
Hey. Hello.
Oh my God. I'm like, the first thing I would like to ask you, dude, how is it going for you? How is this whole YouTube thing, doing for you right now? It must be freaking crazy.
Crazy. Yeah, it is crazy. I'm just I still can't believe that as many people like this little character I play. But I'm enjoying the ride, man. Hopefully it keeps going.
Yeah, it's so, oh my God, it's so iconic. Until right when I went out one day wearing a Uniqlo orange T-shirt. I'm not giving Uniqlo a plug, by the way, but if you'd like to send us stuff, please, my mailbox. I'll PM you my mailbox, together with Nigel as well. You can send this stuff for absolutely free. Okay, I'm a slut like that. I went out wearing an orange T-shirt, and across the hall, he'd be like, "Hey, Uncle Roger," and I'm like, "Okay." I was like, "What the? Oh wow, dude, this is it's you're blowing up everywhere. You're
Yeah, thank you. But I think
yeah.
probably more so in Malaysia because I'm Malaysian and we have this sort of patriotism which I love. It's very nice. But I don't think in the UK, if you come over here and wear an orange polo, nobody's going to yell that out. So I think you're seeing a more heightened version of my fame than I actually have,
So like, just that's a quick one. Like, how did the whole character come about, and like what went through the thought process of Uncle Roger?
Yeah, it's doing character comedy on YouTube and social media was a goal of mine for 2020, and the Uncle Roger character came about from the podcast. I was just riffing. I want to play this middle-aged uncle, and this middle-aged uncle, what if he cooks rice? What is he gonna say? What's he gonna dress like? The dress sense is just me asking my Asian friends, send me pictures of your dads because I want to play this middle-aged character, and I got it, and as like bright colored polos were like the most common theme, and then my personality wise too is quite, sometimes I can be quite like grumpy and uncle-y anyway, and I also like a lot of the Asian culture stuff, so it all came together to be this heightened version. Maybe me in 20 years time then came up with this package called Uncle Roger, I guess. So it's just like through organic improvising, that kind of thing, I just came out from there.
So like sometimes like some actors when they act a certain character, they kind of like channel someone in their mind, like oh my cousin Bob used to be like that. It's like the way you pull that character through Uncle Roger, right? The way you speak, right? That accent, or the way you basically portray him. Is there an uncle that actually speaks like that, or is there someone?
Yeah, I think 50% of it is my dad. He has that sassy, condescending attitude, but he's kind of funny as well, and he likes his dad jokes. So a lot of it is my dad.
Oh my God, he must be so proud of you right now.
Yeah, but he keeps saying now he's like, oh yeah, the Uncle Roger, he copied me one, everything is my ideal one. See my belt phone case? He wear belt phone case, right? I wear belt phone case also.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Oh, man. That's to be honest, that's just the way our Asian parents They say what you like, but they will never admit it. That's how they show how happy and how proud they are of what their kids are doing, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, they got it from their father, they got it from their father. Like, come on, man. Reality check is like, yeah, actually, I didn't even think of that. Like, he think of himself, and I think, yeah, he got it. But hey, but he's still my son. He's still my son, okay? He made the money also, I get to spend it. Why? Because he's my strongest sperm, okay? It's so funny because the other day, this is a true story, by the way. I was actually in my family group chat with my in-laws, and then we were talking about something, and then all of a sudden, they were asking me, "Oh, could you help me buy something?" And I went there and I said, "Oh, this is not no longer in stock." And I said, "Oh, this is no longer in stock." And they replied with your face, "Hi, yeah." And I'm like, "Wow."
Yes,
I
I'm
was
a
like,
GIF on
wow.
WhatsApp now. I just
you
found that
imagine?
out yesterday. I was texting my friend, and then she texted Uncle Roger GIF. I'm like, holy shit, am I on here? And then I went on WhatsApp, the GIF search, and then I searched Uncle Roger, and there's a whole screen of GIFs, 20, 30 GIFs of me saying hi,
Yeah.
or if your eyes too wet, you fucked up. All my catchphrases.
Yeah,
It's insane, yeah.
Oh my god! But okay, before we talk about more about Uncle Roger, I know that's a world phenomenon right now. I mean, like, I want to go back to you as an entertainer, because you've been doing this for quite a while now. I mean, you're a stand-up comedian, all right? I mean, a lot of people ask, hey, was he ever in Malaysia? Yes, you have been in Malaysia. You've done stand-up You've done stand-up comedy shows locally in Malaysia,
Yeah.
open mic sessions and stuff like that. How long have you been doing this for?
Stand up 9 years since 2011.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Wow, that's
it's a long time. It's been a while.
right. And like, I think, like, with the amount of success that you're getting right now with with Uncle Roger and stuff like that, and you rewind back to 11 years ago when you first decided to basically say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna do stand-up comedy, go up on stage, entertain people. How was the struggle like, though? I mean, like, dude, to stay in stand-up comedy, to do something that you love doing for 11 years, it's freaking pure dedication, because not everyone is going to do that. They're probably going to do it for 6 months. It's like, shit lah, fuck the shit. Because, like, I you know what, it's not, everybody's expecting instant fame.
I think, it's probably, looking back, it's probably a passion, because I spent so many nights performing. I kind of gave up a social life, essentially. Stand-up only happens at night, right? And then I was doing shows like 4 or 5 nights a week. My friends, they were hanging out, going to pubs, eating at restaurants. I was out here somewhere performing at a small town in the UK or the US or in Malaysia. I haven't done that many gigs back home yet, but it's there are sacrifices to be made, and I think I made them because I really like the craft and I just enjoy doing it. So it's nice that it's now I have a little bit of a reward, like stand up, even though, like, the Uncle Roger stuff is not exactly stand up, but the skills translate, right?
Yeah.
You know how a joke feels,
Yeah.
and the instincts are good. So
Yeah,
I'm glad it paid off a little bit
punchlines
now.
and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of, even if a joke's not that funny, there are certain tricks you can do to make it sound funnier than it is without making it cheesy,
Yeah.
So the little instincts and little tricks, tools of the trade, I would say.
Yeah, it's like, if sometimes the joke may be not as funny, but because the character is there to kind of like amplify the joke that's not that funny, then it just works. It just gels well together.
Yeah.
With facial expressions and stuff like that. But I mean, okay, so you are based in the UK. How
Yep.
long have you been there in the UK?
Since 2015.
And where were you before the UK?
I was in the US. I grew up in KL near Jalan Ipoh. I went to Chonghua.
So,
right? I
so
went to
you were in
Chonghua.
KL for how long?
20 years, man. 1991 to 2010. 19 years.
Then
Yeah.
you decided to ditch us because of the politics, and then go to the States.
No lie. I got a chance to study in the US, So I took it, and I got a chance to study there, so I took it. I went to the US, and then during the US I started doing stand up in university near Chicago. And then I got a chance to move to the UK. I was like, okay, why not? Let's do it. So here I am.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how wait, so you are 25 now?
No, I'm almost 30. I'm 29. Born in 91.
Oh, you're 29.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I still remember when I first discovered Uncle Roger. This is actually a very funny story. Before Uncle Roger blew up, I remember actually stumbling across your podcast, Rise to Meet You, because there was sort of like a post I randomly, like out of nowhere, I was actually searching for podcasts to listen to. I was randomly searching, and I think I found a post talking about how you guys have to shift to podcasts because of the pandemic. I'm not sure if it was you guys.
Something like that.
Like you were doing a lot of stand-up shows. Yeah, you were doing a lot of stand-up shows, but because all the shows were canceled because of the pandemic, so you guys were shifting everything to podcasts, and you're doing more podcast recordings than usual. And then it's so funny because, I saw that, and, I listened to it a little bit, and next thing you know, you blew up. And I'm like, wait, oi, oh, is it this one? Yeah, it is. And I'm like, oh, wow. It's like, and it's funny because like after that, obviously when you see you blowing up, and people will obviously check you out, check your videos out, and obviously when they check your videos out, you have your links in your description, then they'll start stalking you. And I stalked you on Instagram, and I was like, holy shit, Uncle Roger follows me on Instagram, what the hell? And I was like telling my wife, hey, check it out, man. Uncle Roger, that world famous Uncle Roger, he fucking follows me on Instagram, man.
Yeah, well, I listened to your podcast. Not every episode, but I listened to the one with Jason Leong.
Yeah.
And listen to a few episodes, and I try to follow a lot of the Malaysian creators. I find the things you guys do quite really, really creative, and the production value it's amazing for me to think. I think in Asia, social media videos, there are like so much better, that bigger productions back there on social media. Compared to the West, social media is not as big. KOL culture is a big thing in Asia, right? So I think there's a lot more money in it in Asia. That's why your production values are like so much nicer and cooler. Like you, so I'm Jen. She's another amazing creator. So I try to follow Malaysian people. Yeah, I like to see the content. It's funny. It's great. It's well made. Yeah.
Yeah, so when are you coming back to Malaysia to freaking throw a dent in the industry over here and rake in all the money?
I think not really about the money, but I do want to collab with anyone who's up for collabing and just to have fun. Chinese New Year, man, next year, 2021.
Yes, it's gonna be a little bit different Chinese New Year because we're working on a few Chinese New Year stuff. I mean, like I might get in touch and see whether you're keen to do something, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. Let me quarantine first. Let me quarantine first.
Yeah, I'm very interested to know how life has changed for you because you see, a lot of people don't understand. I don't think I understand either. Like a lot of people kind of look at me and what I do. I've got 1 million subscribers. I have sometimes I have like videos that hit 1 million views and stuff like that. But I think on someone on your level and your scale, it's a little bit intimidating. It's borderline scary because, like for me, yes, I see you from the surface as Uncle Roger, but if I go back behind the scenes and look at you as just like a normal human being doing what I'm doing technically in the entertainment industry, how has that life changed though? It must have gotten a little bit scary at some point.
Scary? Well, I don't really view it as scary. I just like rising to the challenge, and in terms of even for stand-up, I have had opportunities to play like really big rooms, like 3,000 seats, and then to the lay person, it's daunting. It's 3,000 people. You have to make them laugh. But to me, it's like, this is a new chance. There's an excitement. There's a bit of nervousness there. There's a bit of pressure. But I don't know. I like the pressure. Maybe it's I went to Chonghua, so the pressure is kind of drilled into you. Every 2 days you have an exam, so you're kind of used to the pressure. So I like to think I'm the type of person who can rise to the occasion. And to me, what has changed? To be honest, it's just now I know the stuff I make. There are people out there who will watch it, and that's it's a good feeling, And not much else has changed. I'm just busier now, and I make one video a week instead of one video every 2 to 3 weeks. That's more of a schedule I have to adhere to, and I want to adhere to because it's a challenge. I'm trying to let's see how long I can keep uploading one video every week. Let's see how long I can keep that up and still keep the quality up. It's like a little challenge to me. In terms of other stuff, no, I'm still living in the same flat as I lived in. I'm not like out there buying new cars and new watches and gold chains and stuff. I just like creating, I just create more, and I'm just busier.
Oh, that's great. I think that's the difference between self-made content creators versus the mainstream media. It's like the mainstream media, once one person gets a big break, right? And their PR is just going to basically plaster them on probably the most luxurious poster or with the most luxurious brand. And, everybody gets this perception where, the minute you basically hit success, the minute you have millions of views behind you, the minute you basically get on the mainstream network, they're going to assume that you're going to be like, minting it, milking it, like raking in the dollars and stuff like that. And the truth be told, it's not like that. I mean, for me at least, when we first started, people thought that after our first video hit like 2-3 million views, they think that we're going to be buying Lambos and Porsches. And I'm like, no.
No.
I was still trying to get my loan approved for my house. It was rejected.
I don't even have a house yet, so I'm not even there yet. But sometimes we do get the money, but we also reinvest it back into the business, right? The content. You buy better gear to make better things, and people don't see that. They just see the views. They don't think about business costs and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think ultimately we are just normal people, right? And the mainstream it's not like I'm suddenly gonna be on an ad for like Paco Rabanne, Uncle Roger's gonna suddenly be a Gucci spokesperson or a watch, Tag Heuer spokesperson, and I'm just a normal guy. I'm not a celebrity or anything. I just like to make videos, and I'm glad people like to watch them.
I think like if any brands are listening to this podcast right now, I think you kind of better take the hint of what Nigel is saying. I mean, sorry, aka Uncle Roger, because you guys would be stupid not to freaking jump at this opportunity. I mean, he just freaking name dropped some people. I mean, just so you know, like people like Beyonce, they all get paid to freaking name drop Audemars Piguet and freaking Gucci. Yeah. So yeah. But it's just like you're like. Everything you say right now becomes a news article here in Malaysia. Do you realize that?
Well, yeah. I think I like to think only the important things I say are the more like I think I recently had a hate crime happen to me. I got punched in the face, and that became news, right? And I think that's fair enough. I think it's something that Asian people need to know about the situation in the West right now. I don't want to get into too much heavy talk, but there is like occasionally occurrences like these. But I don't think everything I say turns to news, man. I make an Insta story with my dinner. There's no tabloid. Sing Chiu Jitpo is not going, oh, Nigel has pate in Stockholm. Oh my God,
It's
that.
It's so funny. I think there was one time you actually posted a picture of you topless, and then after that it became I think what was it? Everybody called you
Daddy Roger
or something. that was freaking blowing up in Malaysia. It's so crazy because all of the tabloid websites like says.com or like World of Buzz, all these like I won't call them news portals, but like they're like those gossip columns are freaking like, oh my God, if you think Uncle Roger was sexy, check out Daddy Roger. And it was like whoa. I'm like, what the hell, man? This guy was hiding behind his big size, oversized orange polo tee all this while. This bugger, was he freaking catfishing all the girls? How many DMs did you get after that post? I'm just curious. How many of them were like, hey man, I'm here, I'm waiting for you, darling, here are my digits?
A few, but it's I'm too busy to go out and be like a serial dater anyway. So I keep to the people
really?
I currently see, and that's it really. But I appreciate it. I usually don't respond, but I'm like, oh, I see it. It's good for an ego boost. You know what I mean? But I don't let that get to me.
Yeah, because my wife saw that and she was like looking at me. Would you post a picture? Like, are you freaking kidding me? Have you seen me without my clothes off? Look, man, you're married to me. Why would you even ask that question? But the fact that she got married to me is like a bigger ego boost than freaking having a six-pack and freaking like chest muscles, because like, hey, you signed the papers, you can't fucking get away from this anymore.
yeah, that's true, and also it takes maintenance. I gotta keep that up now. Gotta keep that up.
No, I can't, man. But how's it been for you for quarantine? I mean, you've been traveling. You've been traveling a lot, though. I see that you're going to different places to create content. You were doing that food truck series where you get fired from different restaurants, and you reach out to people to work with you. How is it like? I feel like YouTube is amazing because when you create content on YouTube and you blow up, and your fans are not those really crazy fans. They love you, they understand you, they treat you like a friend rather than they go all fanatic.
Yeah, I like that about YouTube, and traveling, not that I haven't traveled that much really. All the food truck and restaurant stuff is all filmed in London. The only place I've been to that's not London is Stockholm. So because
Yeah.
because
Oh, okay,
Evelyn,
cool.
my podcast partner, is from Sweden, so we go there and then I just bring my podcast gear and we record a podcast there because it's more fun recording a podcast in person than over Zoom. Yeah, you know
Yeah.
that. Yeah. We're doing our best here. But yeah, and Stockholm, and then I was there anyways. I was like, okay, why not try to film something? London's in lockdown, but Stockholm isn't. Let's try to film something and not break the law. So. And sometimes you just wanna create, right? And doing the reaction videos is fun, but I think doing the out in the field videos where I can interact with other people, that's a lot of fun too. And I think that's where my comedic chops can shine, because I used to do stand up, crowd work is not an issue. So talking to people and trying to be funny in real time is not an issue. So it's a good way to make content for me. I got the skills.
Yeah, I mean, like, people are just taking your videos, ripping them up, and resharing it on different platforms, dude. I think, like, I enjoy the interaction with real people a lot more than the reviewing ones, because it's so funny to see their reactions because they just don't know how to freaking react to you.
Yeah.
It's like, is it halal? What do you mean if it's halal? Yes. I'm like, oh shit, dude. Do that in Malaysia, you'll probably get the MC knocking on your door next door. It's like, hello, we are here to arrest you because you said something that was not right. Yes, but yeah, that's how it is in Malaysia.
Yeah, I need to be careful.
But like, how far do you see yourself going with Uncle Roger? Do you think you're gonna create like something like a sitcom or a movie? I mean, we've seen some stand-up comedians. Okay, I'm just gonna like name people like Randall Park and Ali Wong.
Mm-hmm.
So she blew up on Netflix, right, with her stand-up comedy. And next thing you know, she's writing movies and she's producing them together with the Asian community. And I feel you are kind of in that league right now, if not on the way there to do something even bigger. So like, what's your biggest aspiration now that you are in a position where, okay, I kind of like have some sort of added advantage to kind of kickstart whatever I want to do?
I think for Uncle Roger, I want to keep doing the YouTube stuff, definitely. I think it's really fun. And the great thing about YouTube is I control every aspect of the production. And you lose a little bit of that when you enter into this bigger production like a movie or a sitcom. And yeah, I have a few sitcom ideas. I have, one or two movie ideas maybe. And some of them star, Uncle Roger. Some of them star me. But, nothing is just in talks with production companies right now. And nothing set in stone. So yeah, hopefully that'll be nice. I think to me, doing a sitcom, doing a movie, again, that's a different challenge, right? And it's a different format, and I think it would be cool to try to write a sitcom. I have no idea even where to start, but yeah, it's in the works. Talking to people, hopefully it becomes a real thing someday. But if not, I'm also really really happy with the YouTube stuff.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, like, I can imagine. So when you went to the States when you're 20 years old, what did you study in the States?
Engineering and philosophy.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
you have to do like something Asian related, I think my parents will not let me do art, just art history,
Freaking hell, you are one of the smart kids. Damn it.
Hey, I went to Chonghua and I was like, my SPM year, Form 5, I was like 全级 DE, which is like out of 700 people, I was for number 1. So I think I'm okay. I do okay.
Oh my God. Freaking hell.
Yeah, if you look at the old
What's the
yearbooks,
next
you
meme that's
can
gonna
see it. What?
Oh my God, dude. I mean, like, you're an all-star student. What the hell?
I try lah.
And from that, you're now an all-star online. So if you actually did not pursue stand-up comedy and you did not pursue this whole thing on YouTube, what would you actually be doing right now? It's such a cliche question, but this is coming from someone who's like in the Ivy League, who is like top of his class. I mean, what would you be doing right now?
Probably working. Well, I'll probably be doing something creative on the side. I don't know what yet, but if I didn't do this full time, I'll probably still be doing it on the side. But my day job, I don't know, probably some white collar, McKinsey, Booz, Bain, because that's where the path that's the path I was going. All my friends are on that path. They're currently working there, and it seems nice. They live a good life, and then they work there for a few years, and then they join a startup. That's probably what I was gonna do too. Join a startup, start a startup.
Okay.
That kind of entrepreneurial type thing. I think that was the path I was going down, and it's not a bad path. I think if in a separate universe, if I didn't do comedy, that's a path. I'm happy to go down that path. They live a good life. They have a good social life. They have time with their family. They're close to home. A lot of them work in Singapore, right? So I might consider that as well. So
Yeah, I mean you're out of Malaysia already, so that's a start. So yeah, and everybody who goes out of Malaysia tend to do better. So yes, okay, that's you're there. You're definitely there, dude. You got it covered for everything else. So at the end of the day, if this whole YouTube thing finishes and one day basically finishes, you can just basically go back to a working job. Like, yeah, look, man, I'm a top student. I demand whatever I want because I'm smart. Oh my god, you have everything.
I don't think it works like that in the job
how
market, man. Can you imagine if YouTube finishes and then I go apply for a job at like KFC? And then my resume is just 2010 to 2025. It's YouTube as Uncle Roger. That's not a good qualification. No company will hire you.
To like when you go out right now, how many people? I mean, like how often do you get people shouting out from across the street, "Hiya!" or "Uncle Roger"?
In London, it's mostly only in Chinatown. Really, it's mostly Asian heavy places where I get recognized. But in Stockholm, Sweden, I got recognized a few times too, which was very surprising because Stockholm, you can see analytics on your YouTube, right? And Stockholm is like so low down. Sweden is just a tiny percentage of everybody. So I'm just surprised that people even recognize me there. And when I did the bubble tea video, I posted an Insta story saying, "Hey, if you're in Stockholm, come visit me. Come be in my video." And I thought there was gonna be 10 people showing up because it's Sweden, but then a lot of people showed up. There was a queue, and I was just, holy shit, this is crazy. So in London, not that much. Only when I go to Chinatown. I don't know how it'll be in Malaysia. I'm excited to maybe also a little bit scared to see if I take the flight from. I think the flight in Heathrow from London to KL, I'll get recognized already. So I probably have to.
Yeah, you will. And
and it's a bit weird, isn't it? Because it's a bit weird if you get recognized in a plane. You're like on the plane for 13 hours, and then I'm sleeping and drooling, and people who recognize me are walking past me to go to the toilets. It's just, I swear they'll take photos of me, unflattering photos.
They'll take a picture.
Of me,
Yeah, they'll take a picture. It's like, hey, guess who's I'm on the flight with Uncle Roger. My God. Yeah, do you think it's okay if I want? Yeah, you know what I mean. Oh wow, I think you're gonna blow up, dude, in Singapore. I mean, like when you come to Malaysia, I feel that when you go to, I know for sure that when you go to schools, they're gonna mob you for sure. If you go to the malls, you're just gonna be recognized left, right, center. You're not gonna basically have your meal in peace. That's look, man, dude. Even my mother-in-law knows who you are. My mom knows who you are.
Wow.
It's like she was forwarding videos that she ripped off YouTube to her family chat, and I'm like, Mom, you don't do that. Your son's a YouTuber. You don't rip off other people's work and freaking reshare it, make it your own. You know what I mean?
Yeah, share the YouTube link, lah.
And when
Ginny's mom, please.
Yeah. Yeah, because you know why? Because we get AdSense. That's the only money that we make. Come on, man.
Yeah.
And the thing is, everybody in my family chat, my mom's side and my wife's side, they all react to it. Everybody will just say, ha ha ha, Uncle Roger's so funny. Everybody knows you. So you are, like, for me, it's a bit different because, like, I know my audiences are like the college audiences between 18 to 25. And I go out, if I go to like the area that's a little bit more like, younger, I'll get recognized. But you're like every single demographic.
Wow. Okay.
People dress up as you during Halloween.
Yes.
And that is
I made a whole
insane.
video about that.
Well,
I did encourage people to dress up within reason. It's very easy in the Western world. White people dress up and make it racist and stuff. So within reason, dress up within reason as Uncle Roger. And I got like 1,000 submissions, man, in the inbox. My inbox. I started a new Gmail account, and it's now like 50% full. And I didn't even know that you could fill up a Gmail account. It's insane because people send videos, attachments, and all that stuff. But it's been crazy, and I couldn't even finish looking through all the submissions. I wonder how it's gonna be. Maybe I need to be act like a K-pop star now, wear sunglasses all the time and a face mask and a cap, and just walk really quickly to places.
Yeah, just don't wear your orange T-shirt. That's number one. That's a complete giveaway because even if you're not Uncle Roger, you're wearing orange. Oh, Uncle Roger, you know what I mean? That's one. Because I got it, I got it firsthand, and I have you to blame for it. And oh man, it's just like sometimes, do you ever sit back and wonder? It's like, whoa, I'm currently kinda not expecting what I'm doing right now, but this is sort of like a dream come true. Was it something that have you ever actually thought to yourself like, hey, maybe I should try YouTube one day and do stuff?
What do you mean try YouTube one day? As in like before all this?
Like yeah, before all this, yeah.
Well, before all this, I was doing YouTube as a way to, grow my profile and sell more tickets to my stand-up show. And then, as you
Oh.
do more videos, you get better at editing and filming. And then, I do look back sometimes I just think about it and I'm like, I'm just insanely grateful to get a break, because you do any sort of artistic endeavor, you're not guaranteed a break. You could forever just
Yeah.
work and just forever struggle to get by, and that was a risk I took when I went full-time comedy in September. I knew full well that was a possible reality, that I would just constantly I give up this cushy data science job in London, to pursue comedy, and
Yeah.
I know there's a chance I'll forever be making like only a third of what I used to make, and have to live with that. So that was
Yep.
a risk I took. So to have this blow up, I just count my lucky stars every day, man. It's like, again, as an artist, not everybody gets breaks. So when you get one, I just feel really lucky.
Yeah, what do your family think about it? When you started doing this. Okay, don't talk about the fact that when you blew up on online, but when you pursued this career as an entertainer, I mean, what were their sentiments like? Were they like, okay, you've already studied engineering, you can do whatever you want? Did they ever say that to you?
No, they were like, oh, I know you do stand up now and comedy, but maybe you can take a part-time job working in IT. You can code. They're always worried.
Wow, okay.
Of course,
okay.
they'll be worried, right? Because comedian is not a stable income, and then our parents' generation, I think having a stable income is very important to them, right? And because
Yep.
came from a hard. My parents came from, they didn't grow up with a lot, so they always wanted a stable income. That's a good life for them. So yeah, they're always a bit concerned, a bit worried. And when I went full time and I told them, I gave up my job doing this and now I do this now, and they're always a bit worried. And especially when lockdown started in March in London, when I told my mom, I can't perform anymore, so there's no income anymore. And then they got really concerned. My mom was like, now maybe you can, now that you're not performing anyway, maybe it's time to find a day job until you can perform again. I can see where she's coming from, but ultimately it's like,
Yep.
it's a risk I took, right? So I gotta just devote myself completely to it, at least for a few years. And if it doesn't work out, sure,
Yeah.
I can go back to my day job. But then at least I know I tried, right? But I think Asian parents, Malaysian parents especially, they all feel the same. Like, why you had such a good thing, you had such a good, like, nice, cushy job. Why did you give that up? So that was the
Yeah,
attitude.
I think it was like that for me as well. So I studied. I'm not a straight A student, so I studied marketing and PR in Australia. Came back, and I know I wanted to take a break, but my mom said go get a job. Look, she pushed me to become a pilot. I didn't get it because I sent out all of my applications. Nobody basically wanted. Probably I couldn't fit in the cockpit because I'm so big size. Then after that, they wanted me to do engineering, so they enrolled me into an engineering course. Failed it. Didn't like it. I wasn't great with numbers. Maths was a disaster for me. Then I did marketing and PR. You know how it is. Like, you go do this job, like marketing and PR. It's probably the easiest stream or easiest degree to kind of like get himself into, and and pass. I hope that I'm not saying anything wrong, because I'm just afraid that everybody who studies marketing, like, what are you trying to say? You think marketing is easy? Is it? No, okay. But back then for me, marketing was the easiest for me out of all the other sciences. So let's just say that I wasn't great in the sciences. So when I came out, I did a 9-to-5 job, starting pay of $1,800, dude. That was pathetic. That was so
how do you
pathetic.
live on that, man, in Malaysia? My God.
Yeah, and it's like, I remember it was $1,800. I had no car because I had a hand-me-down from my brother. So I had a beat-up Proton Wira that it was a manual car, and it really beat up. That means I've banged all sides, and we fixed it with the cheapest way possible, so it still looks good. One day I put a fresh coat of paint on it. Looks brand new, dude. I'm so proud, man. I got at least one girl to sit in my Proton Wira.
Nice.
Yeah, I know the dashboard was all shit and all banged up and whatever not, but hey, $1,800 as a starting pay, and for me I was working with Astro, and that's how I got into the whole radio business, because voiceover gigs were actually really, really, they pay so well, dude. You go in there, you sneeze, you get paid $350. That's it. I remember doing a commercial for a freaking cough mixture, and all I had to do was I went in there, I was like and I got paid $350. And I was like, whoa, shit. It was that was freaking. Then I started doing more, and I love to do impressions, so I started doing like really like some low voices and whatever pirate voices, and I started making that as a side income. Then along the road, somebody got fired, and then I was offered a job on radio, and then my mom freaked out. My mom was like, "Oh, why are you throwing away your stable income job to do entertainment? This doesn't last so long and stuff like that." I know I've talked about this before. And I was like, "But mom, they're paying me like $500 more." And she was like, "Yeah, but these things are, entertainment industry. It doesn't last, and stuff like that." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." But then after a while, I was doing it for like 7 years, and she got used to it. And I left to do YouTube, and then it came back again. Why do you want to leave radio? It's just a stable income. You have what are you gonna do YouTube? So I guess parents don't realize. I don't know if it was the same for you, but for me, it was like because you are in a position that you need to survive. You're gonna put everything out at all costs to make sure that you survive. I'm not sure whether it's the same for you.
Yeah, it's called desperation. And it is a motivator, man. It is. If you're struggling, like, what can I do to make next month's rent? That's when you create the great art sometimes. But I think your parents also don't know that, let's be honest here, radio is stagnating or declining, as an industry, right?
Yeah.
And nobody, I don't even remember the last time I listened to the radio. It's all Spotify and on-demand streaming stuff now. So I think your parents also don't know that. I think transitioning to YouTube was the more stable option, was the more long-term option from my perspective. So your parents should be like,
it was.
Why don't you transition to YouTube sooner? If they knew the industry and the ins and outs of technology.
Yeah, and it's like that, and once you're doing okay, which I like for me is I kind of like, well, I do YouTube, so I kind of know how YouTube works, and then looking how you're doing right now, I kind of think that you're doing okay. That's for sure. And I'm pretty sure that you kind of reassure your parents and like tell them like, hey, I'm doing okay too. And then you should they'll keep digging. You don't want to tell them that you're doing okay in turn financially, and they keep digging. And once they find out, they'll be like, oh, okay, okay, all right. And then after that, they'll be like, so when you're gonna give your parents money?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh man, dude, that's like, I feel like that's an episode for Uncle Roger, like on its own, talking about what parents do.
I'll try to make something like that. But I think in terms of money, the money talks, I think in Asia we're just more open about talking about money. In the Western world, people hide it more. It's very taboo and very gauche to talk about money.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but Asian parents, my first video, when it got 10 million views, my mom was like, how much money did you make in the video? How much money? Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
that's
not that much, man, because
like,
it's a 7-minute video. You don't get to put mid-rolls on, so it was 7 minutes 56 seconds.
Man.
I was like, why did I just make it 5 seconds longer?
Do your parents actually, like, every video that you upload, your parents comment on that? Do they send you like a personal message and be like, ha 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 ha, this is funny? Or do they even get in between your creative process now that you are huge?
Yeah, a little bit. They give me advice. My mom's like, please don't criticize white people. They, you got punched already. Don't do this again. They might punch you again.
Oh
when
my
I did
god!
I reviewed Great British Bake Off, right? So I was like, it's not Japanese at
Yeah.
all. And then my mom's like, well, don't criticize people. People don't like it. They don't like Asian people already. Stop criticizing them.
Yeah, but okay. So like, just like a couple of weeks ago, you were talking about how you got punched in the face.
Yeah.
What happened? I mean, bring us through. I mean, what happened that day or that night?
It was daytime. Just after lunch, I was walking back home, and it was just on my street, five doors down. This guy on a bicycle just saw me, and then he just jumped off his bike, threw his bike down, and then just walked towards me really aggressively. And at first, I thought he wanted a picture. And I was like, must be a fan. Must be a fan.
Okay. Oh,
nope. And then he just started
my
attacking me.
God.
I was just kind of blocking and backing away. And he kept saying, I was like, whoa, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? And then he said, yeah, you know what you did? You know what you did? And I don't know. I still don't know what it was, but I think all signs point towards this being like, in the West, sometimes they think like Chinese-looking people brought the virus. you know. So maybe that's what triggered him to do something like that. So that was that, and then I had to file a police report. Police came, all that stuff, and it's not a new thing in the UK or the US. Things like this have been happening. It's just right now it happened to a higher profile person like myself, and hopefully more people know about this kind of thing. And it's not right, I think, but it's just super unlucky, and I'm glad I wasn't more hurt than I was just a bleeding lip. So, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you go like, oh no, not the face. This is the moneymaker, man. This is the freaking moneymaker, not the face.
I did think that. Yeah. It crossed my head because, I mean, the good thing was when I saw him, he wasn't a big guy, so there wasn't too much fear. If you see someone completely in a different weight class from you, you're like, oh shit, he's gonna fuck me up. But he was probably skinnier. My height, skinnier than me, so I was like, okay, I can take a few punches. That's okay. But if he was like a big bouncer guy, it's like, oh shit, I'm gonna die. But I didn't have that I'm gonna die.
He obviously, he obviously did not. Obviously, he did not follow you on Instagram. Otherwise, he would have seen your topless picture and then thought twice on whether he want to throw punches at you because the comeback would be painful. Yeah, I may be Asian, but I know kung fu.
Well, those are just show muscles, man. I never really. Those are gym muscles that are just for show, really. That I don't really do anything functional with them.
Well, okay. Well, I gotta ask you this. Well, this will be the bloody obvious question that I have to ask everyone who is in this industry and who has made a name of themselves. Have you ever name dropped to get whatever you wanted?
No, that's such a dick move, isn't it? No. And to be honest, I get offered a lot of free stuff. Like sometimes, okay, when I do like a brand deal, they will send me stuff, but then they'll send me a huge box of a lot of stuff, and they like sending me free stuff. And sometimes I feel like, I live in a small flat, and I'm like, just don't stop sending me free stuff. I got enough, and I'm happy to pay for things. Let me pay for it, please. I don't wanna. I feel bad sometimes when they give you free stuff. Sometimes they expect something in return, expect you to post it on Instagram stories or something. So I've done the opposite of that. I'm like, please stop. No more free stuff. I appreciate it. Stop sending me swag. I like the swag. It looks good, but no more swag. I'm swagged out. No more swag, please.
Oh wow. Wow. Okay, that's good because you know how it is sometimes. You get people who are not okay. For me, as we know in this industry, we have some people who are not as big as they are. But they keep freaking name dropping the fact that, I'm an influencer. Hey, I'm a KOL. Hey, I'm a YouTuber. Hey, do you know this? Do you know that? I'm like, okay, for someone like you, I mean, do you currently have a manager? Do you have someone managing you?
Yeah. I'm managed by WME and United Agents here. I don't want to go into too much detail, but it's boring to people. But yeah, I have management, yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I know WME. I mean, they're huge. I think they do some of the biggest stars in the whole world.
Yeah. Very lucky to be signed with them, and they're great to work with. So can't complain.
Dude, that's freaking crazy, dude. So what? Am I seeing you on Crazy Rich Asians 2 or not?
I can't act for shit, man. So if they want to put me in as a janitor or a cameo, small role, I'm happy to do that. But man, I don't know if I can handle proper acting. I don't think I can help myself to not look down the camera lens. I'm just too used to it. I see a camera, I just look into the lens, hello, niece and nephew, But I don't know how it'll be on set. Yeah, but I think, it'd be cool if they want me, hit me up. I'm not going to say no to be in even a small... I'll do it for free, man. I'll do it for free. I'll fly myself out to LA. Where I have to do it for free.
Yeah, but it's really nice to see someone as famous and as popular as you being so down to earth, because you don't get that a lot these days. You have a lot of people who the minute they achieve fame, they become somebody else, and I won't go too much into detail, but sometimes have you ever when you rise up to fame so fast, how do you, a lot of people ask, how do you deal with that sudden fame? How do you deal with the hate? Do you get people hating on you? Do you go through the hate comments that come in? Do you go through the different types of discussion? Do you sometimes get sent articles that talk shit about you, and does it hurt you? Does it basically, hit that spot where oh man, I'm not like that, and then that's where you tend to want to prove yourself wrong, or prove them wrong, or prove yourself right, or whatever. Not. Have you ever experienced that so far?
Oh yeah, tons of hate, man. But I've always been doing content anyway, and it's just hate on a bigger scale. Instead of one negative comment, now I get 1,000. But the positive comments scale as well. But it doesn't really affect me when I get a negative comment. And as comedians in the UK, you get reviews. Reviewers come to see your show, and I treat them the same. As in, like, I read the review or the negative comments, and I think, okay, do what they say actually, hold any sort of is it logical? Is it correct? And then I think about it, and I realize, oh no, it doesn't apply to me because of this, and this reason. And I just kind of it's very logical, and I just go, okay, ignore it. It doesn't really hurt me. And the things that sometimes there are constructive criticisms, of course, in terms of like, for instance, my Jamie Oliver video, there was a comment that said, oh, I stopped and start the video way too often. And I looked at it, I was like, oh yeah, that's true. Okay, let me try to fix that for the next video. So that kind of thing, I mean, that doesn't hurt me because it just makes my content better. So I'm like, oh, thank you for the feedback. But there's a lot of comments saying, Uncle Roger doing this accent is racist or perpetuates Asian stereotypes. I thought about it and I realized, nope. And I've explained my reasoning on the podcast. And also on I think mainly on the podcast, we had a whole 20-30 minute segment discussing why it's not racist. And the gist of it is, it's Uncle Roger is a character a lot of Malaysians can relate to. It's a character we grew up with, and it's my life experience. It mainly comes from Western Asians who they grew up, maybe they got bullied because of the accent. But does that mean nobody should do accents anymore? It's crazy. People have accents, and we should live with it and celebrate it. So yeah, I thought about it, and I had my thought process behind it, and spent some time thinking about it, and then I realized, no, I think they're wrong. So it doesn't really affect me. As long as there's a process, you can't go about life doing, everybody negative comments are all haters, bro, all haters, just ignore them. You can't fully ignore them. You have to process them and then think about how does it apply to you? Do you agree? Do you disagree? And then just go through a logical process, and then no, I don't. My feelings don't get hurt by it.
Yeah, because Malaysians also have an accent. I go to the States, and then I talk like this, right, with this accent, and then they'll basically squint their eyes like, where are you from? Then after that, my American accent will come out. Oh yeah, I'm from Malaysia. And then they'll be like, okay, that's all right. So I get that all the time. So yeah, I feel the representation is great. That's why I think Malaysians love you so much, and that's why not only Malaysians but Singaporeans.
Yeah,
I think Asians in general, because for us we all have an accent, right?
Yeah,
I mean yeah, and to me is you are kind of bringing that accent to the world stage.
I bring the accent, I bring the slang.
To be honest,
all that stuff.
Yeah, it's how people kind of call like the way we talk right now, our accent, right, the Malaysian accent. Do you know that it's starting to be recognized as Singlish rather than the Malaysian accent, because Singaporeans do their marketing so damn well.
Yeah, they do.
The minute we talk like this, our accent, the bigger international audience would think that, is that Singlish? That's it from Singapore? And I'm like, bloody hell.
Yeah.
Why didn't our Malaysian fellas, freaking do something with our Malaysian accent and slang? Singaporeans actually I saw this in Singapore, they sold a book about the Singaporean slang in the tourism store.
Wow.
So they had like a book, and it explained Singlish, lah, sia, and whatever not, and basically they were like owning the accent, and I'm like, wow, these Singaporeans are so damn smart. I just don't understand.
We should have done it. We should have done it. I think bringing this accent to the world stage and normalizing it, to be honest, so this character is a fully fleshed out character. And then also, you don't often see, you see like white people make it about Asians, that we've seen that before. But we haven't seen it the other way around that much. Yeah. So it's in a sense, it's kind of like, fighting for our people and getting ourselves hurt, Why do you fuck up rice so bad? Rice is so easy. So it's putting our voice out there in a funny and entertaining way that everybody enjoys. White people, black people, Asian people, they can all enjoy it. And nobody's feelings get hurt by it, but it was a way of poking fun at white people going the other direction,
Yeah. So okay, can you cook rice really well? Or
I mean, who can't? What? We all have rice cookers, right? You press a button, and it's done, and it keeps warm for you. You cook it in the morning. You come back. You set a timer for 7 p.m. and it's ready for 7 p.m. The fact that every time you cook rice, it's like a saucepan. Just get a rice cooker. You know what I mean?
and measure with your finger. You don't need any freaking measuring cups and stuff like that.
To be honest, you don't even need the finger anymore, because most rice cookers come with a line now, right? Most rice cookers have a line in there.
Yes.
Okay, if you lose the rice cooker cup, and then you just aga, put the rice in, like roughly. Then you have to use your finger, sure. But if you have the rice cooker cup, which comes free with every rice cooker, just put half a cup of rice in there and then just fill up to the line, easy. Just press the button. And then some people here in the Western world, they even buy air fryers before they get rice cookers. It's like, is that your priorities? Are you gonna eat like crispy kale, fried kale every day apart from rice? The priorities, man. Toasters. Yeah, I can go on for a long time. I have a huge passion.
Yeah, I really, to be honest, I really like where you're coming from, because like when you mentioned that, the white culture makes fun of the Asian culture. So you were the first one that just went all out dissing the white culture, and that's what's wrong. You're basically putting yourself out there as equals.
Yeah.
And that's what people have got to start accepting. It's like, hey, if you can make fun of us, if you can make fun of black people, it should be the same all the way around. I mean, if you're trying to say, if you're gonna make fun of our culture, and then if we get angry at it, and you say, oh, come on, could you guys take a fucking joke? They should expect the same when we do it with them, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why you freaking stood out so much, because you just didn't give a shit. You'd be like, so what if it's Gordon Ramsay?
Yeah.
So what if it's Jamie Oliver? Yeah. Just because you're a big it's like a lot of people will always think that, just because you're a big time celebrity, you're always right.
No.
You know what I mean?
No. Yeah.
So you came out and you'd be like, oh, fuck that, you That's amazing.
That's the beauty of YouTube. It's okay to not give a shit. Who's gonna come clamp down at me? But if you work with a TV company, if BBC want to make a program, and I say I want to shit on Jamie Oliver, they're like, no, we want to work with Jamie Oliver. Please, let's not do that. Because BBC are worried they're gonna get sued. So there's a lot of stuff. If you work with like a traditional media corporation, there's a lot of stuff you can't do, whereas you can do it on YouTube.
So okay, I remember you reviewed Gordon Ramsay. You got a reply from him.
Yeah.
So you have done have done a lot of reviews and reactions to a lot of celebrities. Have any of them or any of their management actually reached out and say that, hey, we might want to work together, or is there something happening?
Gordon's team did reach out. We're in.
Whoa.
Yeah, but again, still in talks. Maybe something can come out of it. Gordon's a bit too busy to actually collab with me on YouTube because he has his big TV shows he has to film. So of course, he's Gordon Ramsay, right? Yeah. So his company did reach out, and hopefully we can develop something soon. Fingers crossed. But all these things is like, they call it like general meetings where you just kind of talk about your ideas, and then they'll say, yeah, we'll keep you in mind, and they'll develop it. And sometimes something happens, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, it's just a numbers game. So fingers crossed something can happen with one of those people. That'll be nice.
It'd be so funny if you actually gone on a Gordon Ramsay show and freaking critique his cooking on the spot when he's doing it. It's like, how Gordon Ramsay likes to, we're going to put a splash of olive oil, and then he freaking pours half a bottle in the bloody pan.
Yeah.
It's just like ridiculous. A pinch of salt. He freaking empties half the fucking bottle of salt in there. And it's like, oh, that's perfection. It's cooked to perfection. Every time I watch his videos, I'm like, how the hell, man? I feel like I'm gonna freaking die freaking gonna die eating his meals. But I have to admit, I have been watching a lot more cooking videos than usual because of the whole pandemic. But dude, I really hope that all these things come your way, man. Because I think I kind of feel like where you are right now is just the beginning, and I hope for bigger things to come your way, because it is amazing to see a fellow Malaysian crossing international borders and making something huge for themselves, and then representing the country and not being shy to say, yeah, I'm Malaysian, man, and take that accent out there and take that culture out there. That actually not, I won't say accent, but that culture out there to introduce to the rest of the entire world. I mean, right now, when Malaysians watch, I'm sure they realize the world is watching Uncle Roger and Nigel Ng. That is insane. This is the biggest coverage not even mainstream media can give you.
Yeah.
Like if you went on the BBC today, it's not going to give you that reach from all over the world. And that is insane. Think about that for a moment. It's so freaking insane.
Thanks, man. And I when you said I'm at the start of something bigger, and that would be nice if something big happened. But even if nothing happens, if I don't gain a single new subscriber ever again, and I just have whatever I have right now, it's already pretty good. Mm-hmm. I'm already really, really happy about this, to put out a video and then have like tons of people watch it. That's all you can ask for as a creator, right? And yeah, I hope bigger things happen and develop in the future. But now, pretty happy. Just keep doing what I'm doing and keep working hard and see what happens.
Yeah, you know what, Nigel? I just want to say thank you so much for your time. I know you're a busy man, and I know that you have a lot of other videos and other content that's going to be coming up for everybody to watch. And I just want to say that continue milking that YouTube money. That's right. Go crazy on it. But before we go though, did you want to say anything to all of our listeners here on Mamak Sessions?
Thank you for listening, guys, and go subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I thank you for all the support. Malaysians have showed a lot of love to me, and hope you keep watching my videos.
Yeah. So hopefully we can collaborate one day. I'm just putting it out there. I know you have a management and all, and that management is pretty big. So for me, it's hopefully one day we can work together and see whether that happens.
Well, the creative side, I manage the creative side. The management mainly manages the business side. But as creators, when I collab with someone, there's no business involved. I just like the stuff you do. Let's work together. That's it, really. Hit me up, man. I'll hit you up too when I get back to Malaysia.
Yes.
Chinese New Year.
Definitely. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Once again, you can stream us on Spotify. You can stream us on Apple Podcasts. You can stream us on Google as well. If you want to basically watch Daddy Roger, obviously he's got his shirt on, so he is Nigel Ng, but we know him as Uncle Roger. You can watch us on youtube.com/JinnyboyTV Hangouts. Nigel, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you. Again, continue doing what you're doing. Keep inspiring and keep the culture strong.
Yes.
Malaysian style.
Thank you. Malaysia for and
Thank
everything.
you very much for listening. We'll speak to you next time.